So, welcome to this week's lecture on entrepreneurship. The topic for this week will be um, creativity and innovation. Okay, creativity and innovation. And well, in society, as business people, we really need to make sure we challenge the way things are done. And because if we don't challenge the way things are done, we are likely to be doing the same thing every now and then. Have you looked around, check the mobile phones we have, check the cars that you see on the road? You're likely to see that the next generation of every product has some new features. If you take Toyota Corolla 1990 compared to Toyota Corolla 2025, you see a big difference. All right. If you take Samsung Note 8 compared to Samsung, maybe Note 10, you'll see a good difference. There are so many options or examples out there. But the good point is that you need to change because society is dynamic and everything around us are dynamic. Remember, 10 years ago, you were not like this. You didn't understand certain things, but now you can understand certain things in a different way. Some things you used to do, you stop doing it. All these things mean that for somebody to design products for you, the person also has to change the way, because there are certain things you like that you don't like now. So innovation and creativity is very important to help us to reshape our products and our offerings to the public in line with what they need and how it attend to solving their problems. Yeah, but of course, when you are trying to do something new or something different, you have to be very careful that you are not just doing something. You look at this picture and that kind of experiment might be very dangerous, because in our local parlance, we say bojagum. So eja means fire. So the guy just trying to see if he can put his phone because there's no electricity, for example. But the point is, he's going to break the phone, break the charger. Why? Because that plastic there is going to melt, it's going to conduct the wrong kind of power or heat. So you see, when we are trying to be creative and innovative, we still need to be very careful that we are not just doing something new, but something fundamentally better to solve problems. So it's not just something new, but something better. So there could be other ways of resolving this issue, maybe through solar systems rather than a charcoal with plastic, because of course, look at the plastic in the fire, it will get bent. Yeah. So Roger Von Noach made a pronouncement which I think is interesting for you to also read. So it says it's easy to come up with new ideas. The hard part is letting go of what worked for you 2 years ago, but will soon be out of date. What it means basically is that change, which is a very basic necessity of life, is difficult. Because when we are used to doing things a particular way, when we want to change, there will be a lot of resistance. People will not want to be part of the new change. They will be complaining and all that. So it can be difficult for change to come. But it is important that we know that some things have worked yesterday or in the past, but now they may not work again. And that is the reason why it is important to ensure that whatever we do as individuals, we are prepared, or we are preparing ourselves for change, because change will come, whether we like it or not. If you refuse to change, at least the other components or elements in society will change. So the brain, we say, kills creativity due to categorization. So we have the left and the right brain that work together for us. Yeah, but generally speaking, the brain supports creativity innovation. But again, it can also stifle it, because when our mindset is in a particular way that, oh, okay, well, in Ghana, we cannot produce vehicles. We cannot manufacture component parts for aeroplanes. Or for us, we can only produce the raw cocoa and export it. Someone will have to crush it and convert it to chocolate. Ghana should have been one of the best world chocolate producers, but we don't do this. The question is why? So it is very important that we begin as individuals and as a group, not to categorize things that, oh, this one, no, it's only this person who can do it, or this one is only, it will only take Airbus to produce the best aeroplanes in the world. No, why not Ghana? Why not you? Why not start an aeroplane production plant in Ghana? Because Ghana government is starting a procurement deal with Airbus, which is going to send millions of euros to the company in Europe for helicopters for the military and aeroplane. Yeah, we are not saying everybody should do everything, but we need to begin to question ourselves. Why are we not doing certain things? Is it because we just can't do it, or is it because we never tried? Because yeah, we may need an African airline manufacturing company. Why don't we have even a national carrier, an airline? It used to be Ghana Airways, converted to Ghana International Airlines. Both have collapsed, but there are other countries that are doing it. If not in Europe, at least in Africa, in our corridors. Rwanda is doing it. Rwanda is the whole of Rwanda is just like maybe Greater Accra region. Out of our 16 region, one region, but they're able to maintain a national airline. Kenya does, Ethiopia does, I think Cote d'Ivoire also does. Yeah, so we need to begin to question the status quo. That's what we are trying to talk about. Don't let your brain tell you, oh, this one, oh, for us, you're just coming to read this course and get our grade and go. No, that should not be it. Challenge yourself beyond the grades and tell yourself, I'm going to do something different. And that is all we are talking about. Any questions, please? Okay, good. So let's take the two together, to one after that, innovation and creativity. Let's take first the creativity. So when we talk about creativity, we say that creativity is not equal to talent, but creativity is equal to skill. Who can explain this? Why we say creativity is not equal to talent, but creativity is equal to skill? If you want to say something, just unmute yourself and talk, please. And remember, you need to change your name. If I'm seeing HPI call I5 or something, that is not your name. Professionally, if you're online for a business discussion, as we are doing, you need to change your name. So please change your name, go to participants, look for yourself, and then you change your name. All right. Yes, anyone should unmute and give us, explain to us or give you ideas about why creativity is not equal to talent, but creativity is equal to skill.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say something.
Who is speaking?
Is this Oman?
Yeah, your name here shows HPI core 15 or
Hey,
I5. So when you
oh,
after speaking, please try to change your name, okay?
all right, sir.
Please go ahead.
Okay. So, please, I can say why we are when we are talking about the creativity, creativity is like you try to bring a new idea on board, try to generate something, try to brainstorm something, and so creativity is not like and they give back to someone and the person already know what it's coming with. So when we say a talent, it means something that it's being gifted to you. It's like it's a gift, something you are being gifted with. But skill is something you try to practice, you try to learn, you try to acquire. So that's why we are saying creativity is no talent, but it is a learn something you practice and become part of you.
Absolutely. So that's all we're talking about. So creativity is um it's learn or you can learn it. Yeah, I've seen also Daniel Amankwa. Unmute and speak, Daniel. Okay, if Daniel is not ready. Daniel, I think you are speaking. Or otherwise, let's go to Noble.
Yeah.
Uh,
So
Daniel, are you
please, you
speaking
said you
now?
want,
Yeah, go
so if
ahead.
you want, you said you want to change the name, you go.
Sorry?
So if you want, you have to change the name. You say you go where?
Sorry, I still can't understand the question or what you are saying.
You want to change the name that's appearing there. You say you go where?
Go to participants and then you see
Okay.
yourself, and then you right click, and then you see rename. Then you
All right.
name it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So who was speaking? Daniel? Daniel, are you speaking? We can't hear you. Okay, Michael? Michael, you need to unmute so we can hear you.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay, so I wanted to say for why creativity is not equal to talent. Talent is something that you were born with,
Mhm.
and being creative is something that we acquire or we learn. We can improve on it or we learn to acquire it. So
Okay.
creativity cannot be equal to talent because we are not born with creativity. And creativity can't be equated to talent. But it can be equated to skill in the sense that whilst we learn more, we try to invent new things and bring new things on board. So we say that creativity should be equal to skill because the more you learn, the more you will be creative. That's what I wanted to add.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I think uh, it's clear, the explanations that have been given. So,
So, sir,
yeah.
please, I want to add something.
Yes, please go ahead.
So creativity is not talent because it's not something people are born with, but it's
Mhm.
like a habit, a mindset, or a
Mm.
process to connect ideas that
Mhm.
someone is personally willing to explore an unknown situation to get
Mm.
something new.
Good. So you've heard about habits, right? So that is why it's very important not to say that, oh, I was creative yesterday, today I cannot be creative again. So it is a habit. These are very important point they have your colleagues have come up with, and I fully align with those definitions. So it is not one off, even though some people may naturally be more creative uh, than others. It does not mean that uh, someone can say that I'm not creative or I'm not born to be creative. No, that's not possible. You must always remember that you are born with ability. You just need to develop it. Okay, someone may have higher creative abilities than the other, but that does not end the matter. If you have just maybe one quotient of creativity in you, and then you develop it, you may become better than someone who may have just or someone who may have maybe five creativity quotients generically, but did not develop it. So the more you do it, the more you understand or you become proficient. Hello, who is speaking? Hello, who is speaking? We can hear you. Okay. So I think that is cool. So when we're talking about creativity, um, it's a mental process that helps us to generate ideas or concepts on to generate new ideas or concepts. Oh no, I think this one there's a little problem here. Let me to generate. Who is writing on the page? Okay, so we can continue. So creativity is a mental process that helps us to generate new ideas and concepts. So can come up with some ideas about, oh, this one, maybe we do like this. It's better. The last semester exam when I wrote, because I maybe I started around this time I didn't get this grade, so maybe this time I'll do it. So you see, ideas will start coming. The last time I woke up at 6 o'clock, I was late for my 7 o'clock lecture. Maybe I need to now wake up at 4:30 or something, ideas. Or I can see these people are really suffering, trying to climb this hill. Can I get a sky train or something that can help them to access the hill? So you see, the ideas will be coming, concept will be coming. Can we do this and make things better? And then it can also help, creativity can also help to establish a new association between existing ideas and concepts. So some things may already be there, but they are not linked. Okay. So you see that there we have pineapple, they are selling pineapple in the market. There's also cloves in the market. Can't I do some pineapple smoothie with cloves or something, or ginger or something? So you see your ideas will start coming. These things are not new, but it is the association, what you are coming to put together, that is new. All right. Then you can also have useful, appropriate, and valuable products. So it can help you to generate useful, appropriate, and valuable products or processes that can help people. Something that yesterday I was discussing with a friend how I started my smoothie business. So at a point I took too much of coffee, and it resulted in heart palpitations, so I could not sleep, and that resulted in elevated high blood pressure. So my doctors were divided. They said, well, maybe they should give me a blood pressure medication or hypertension control medication. Then other doctors said, no. It looks like I'm not hypertensive, but something is wrong with my system that is causing it. So I need to do something. So when my doctors were divided, I decided to read more about what causes how do you call it, blood pressure to rise. What are some of the remedies? What causes heart palpitations, and a whole lot of things. And when I got to know it was a coffee that I was taking in excess that resulted in a problem, I was asked to flush the system. Maybe I should drink more water over time. Then I read again online. I read medical journals. I found out that, well, if you add cloves, garlic, and ginger, they have very high health benefits for the heart. That will improve circulation and that will reduce the problem. So I decided to do that for myself. And after 2 weeks, I had great benefits and I was taking off the drug. And since then, I've not had any blood pressure issues. My blood pressure has been normal. Then I found out, oh, this is really useful. And over the weekend, one of my friends who also has issues with insulin absorption, and also, yeah, BP, was monitoring his BP and all that. Also, just called me to confirm that, look, your product is really good. So you see, these ones means that, these things that I use for my my product, they have been there for a long time, but we have not combined them into a valuable product for somebody. But when you put it together, so all these things are entrepreneurial processes. So when we talk of creativity, it does not necessarily have to be trying to look for a new big skyscraper or big building or something. So it can be something as simple as the way you prepare your soup, right? Remember we talked about Colonel Sanders, how he was able to work at frying chicken, and then now we have KFC all over the world, So it is about doing something that you can do and do it better, do it in a different way that can help people. Basically, that's creativity. Okay. So creativity can actually happen in different contexts, or to be creative, it may come from different contexts. Just a moment, let me see this something. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, so one of the contexts is what we call the individual context or domains. So creativity domains, one is the individual context. You as an individual, as we said earlier, creativity is a skill, so you can learn it. So you can learn to become creative. You can read books on creativity. I read a lot of books. I don't only read my textbooks or course books. I read things like I even go and read about the Second World War. I read about critical thinking, even though at the time I was in school, there was no course into critical thinking. But now you have, I know now you have critical thinking courses. Read books, read novels. You ideas will come. Read even newspapers. When people when they're reporting news about problems, you can have some idea. This one, these people have this problem because of ABCD. Oh, if they had done it this way, it would have been better. These things help to create some ideas. Then you can also have the domain of knowledge. For example, you are in school now and you are studying a particular course. This class, you are accounting and education students. So you see that your domain of knowledge is accounting and education. These two areas, you can be creative about it because you have learned a lot of things about educating people and accounting as a profession. So you see that your creativity will normally uh, work well in areas that you have knowledge, technical and professional knowledge in. You may not be able to do more creativity work in, let's say, human anatomy or surgery or history, because probably your knowledge in those areas are not very rich. But a medical doctor can also have more creativity in what? Medicine and how to practice medicine or anything. Okay, a tourism expert can also be able to put in more creativity in their knowledge domain. So that is it. Then we have the social context. The social context looks at where you live or where you are. There are some countries where creativity is rife. Like if you go to China, even their curriculum, the education curriculum, everything, society, you go to places, you have parks, amusement parks, parks that you can learn things from. Okay, Germany is one of the creative countries we know in the world. Japan is there, US is there. So see that there are little and young people are able to create things, the social context. But when you go to certain countries like Gasongo, you will see everything is in the classroom. Even your course in entrepreneurship, the design lacks a lot of creativity about how to deliver it so that you can be able to get something hands-on. So these are things that we need to change so that we can be able to work out around the clock to promote hands-on creativity. So if you live in a society where uh, creativity is very common and popular, or even a community, even in a school, I know of Ashesi University, which has a very, very creative, innovative environment. Students are able to create things. They have officers who are helping them to do things. Yeah, you go to other universities, MIT, Harvard, and other. Yeah, you have some of these things. So it is very important that when we become leaders or we manage certain things, we need to create environments where people can be able to create and do new things. So let's look at types of creative behavior. There are three main types of creative behavior. One is what we call creation, or in other words, pure invention. That is if you come up with something new that never existed, right? There's something new, fresh. I cannot really imagine creation, but I can tell you some of the past creations. Like those of you who read the Bible, they say God created man. So human beings were not there, but God created them for the first time. Then human beings now procreated. Okay, they had children and blah blah blah. But for the first time, there was no human being so that's created. Now we talk about telephones. Before telephones came, there's no way someone could communicate to someone elsewhere until the very early ones came up. Yeah. Um, Maybe fuel, oil, all those things, they were things that were extracted from nature. People didn't know how to use them, but they invented them. So anything that is like AI is also one of the new creations that came, not in 2025, of course, but there are reports that AI might have emerged already in the 1950s, right? So that is it. New things are coming, machine learning. So you see the concept of even internet for you to be able to connect online and listen to me here, the internet was there. Then the concept of even having a Zoom discussion is new because in the past people were not able to see each other I remember there were times when we have Skype and all those other things, but in modern times, Skype and those things are no longer even very common in Ghana, for example. We use Zoom and all that. Yeah, so how to connect some of those things. So for the first time, those things came, we didn't have them right. So that is how these things work. Then we have what we call synthesis. Synthesis. So pure creation is something new for the first time. No one has done it. Synthesis is when you combine or you join two unrelated things together. For example, we now have internet. We also now have computers, which are also invented. But if you join internet to computers, you can be able to have what? Connectivity. And then you can have access to internet, you can check your emails, you can send messages to people on WhatsApp, So all those things, when you combine two or more things that are already existing to come up with something new, we call it synthesis. Remember, we talk about photosynthesis when we talk about how the plant produce food for itself. So they use the sunlight, they use the sap, they use the leaves, okay, the stem. So you see that all these are things that are already existing. The plant use them to produce the food. So that is what we call synthesis in creativity. Then the third one is what we call modification. That is when you try to improve on something that is already existing. For example, I mentioned it may have iPhone 11, then it will be modified. You have a new version, iPhone 12, which will come with better features. Then you have iPhone 13 in that order. Okay. So you see computers, individuals will come up with new things, new versions, first edition, second edition. So that's something we improve now. We are working project management, the eighth body of knowledge, PM Book 8. So it helps to make sure that we respond to things. Modification is really important because then you have built customer complaints or new ideas or new inventions or new technology into the product, so you improve upon it. Otherwise, your product becomes stale. People will move away from your product; they will not buy. So these are the three main creative behaviors that we have. Please, anytime you have a question, you can just unmute and then you can ask your question. Okay. All right. So, what are some of the techniques for fostering creativity? There are a couple of them. We will discuss just a few. One is what we call brainstorming. So brainstorming is a technique that we use to generate ideas by bringing together a number of people. So the word brain and storm, it comes from the brain and storm. So we are going to bring our brains together, bring our minds together and storm it. You stimulate it to see whether we can come with new ideas. So there are rules when you want to brainstorm. Maybe there's something you want to resolve, you want to come with a new product, you want to brainstorm. All members must contribute. Okay, nobody should be on the fence. Of course, you need to have a leader or facilitator who will be recording the things, everything you say. So there shouldn't be any criticism. Don't criticize. Say, hey, your idea is not good. All ideas must be written down and captured. Okay, because an idea that you think, oh, this idea is stupid or foolish at the beginning, then you say, this one rather works out well. So don't condemn anything at the first sight. All right. Some of you who meet people on the street and then you just judge them. Oh, this guy, look, he's looking nasty. It's unkept. Maybe it's maybe Bill Gates that is dressed in the shirts in a shabby way. Avoid these documentaries about people who just come. Some big people stand by the roadside like beggars. Sometimes it can happen like that. So that's why ideas may also come from people you don't respect, but their ideas may help save the situation. So it's very important to ensure that the ideas are working quite well by writing them down. In the end, if you will go through to see whether which ideas you can merge. You may be able to merge some ideas. You can take them up, but not at the first instance. Write them down. Maybe later when you go through again, say this one probably might not work. You discuss it well. Okay, then you can take it off, but not at the beginning. At the beginning, write everything. And there should be a facilitator who writes the ideas in brief, and there should not be repetition of ideas because you have to be an active participant so that if someone mentioned cutting down costs, you don't have to talk about it again as a solution to reducing our budgets or reducing expenditure. So make sure you always listen and get everybody involved. Then we can also talk about the fact that you shouldn't discard any idea. All ideas must be written. I think I've explained this also earlier. Then and the other one is focus group discussions, just like with brainstorming. You also come with ideas or people to work together. The number of people that we have for brainstorming and focus group discussion is between 8 and 14. We sometimes have 7. Yeah, so we should look at the numbers between 8 and 14. The reason why we need about 8 is because we believe that by the time you have 8 people, you have good enough amount of energy. Sometimes brainstorming and focus group discussion meetings may have fewer people, like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, but if you have more people, it's good to increase the number to about 8 and 14. With that range is really recommended. The guidelines for focus group discussion is just like brainstorming. You need to consider nothing as a bad idea. You need to give feedback after constructive dialogue. So if someone brings an idea and then you feel, okay, this one is really great, give a good feedback. If you feel this one might not work, you explain why you think it will not work, so that people don't think that, oh, you are just discarding their ideas. Encourage free expression without consequences. Don't let anyone laugh at another person. You are stupid. Why did you bring this idea? This is, don't allow that. That's abuse. People will not bring ideas again. So let people have a very good environment to interact with others without consequences. Then ensure that members respect each other and build on the strength of diversity instead of trying to stereotype. So you may have people from different backgrounds. The ideas may sound stupid at the beginning, as I said, but do not discard them. Give them respect. Listen to them. You see, when you're having these meetings, there are people who are talkatives. They'll be talking, and one little thing they will explain. They'll speak like 5 minutes before the idea will come out. Please, if there's time, don't stop them. Give them time, because their ideas may come out at the end, may be nice. But if there's no time, try to just guide them. It's okay. I think we have just 5 minutes to go, so we'll be happy, or we'll appreciate it if you um summarize the point. Okay, don't say, you are talking too much. This simple thing, you are talking plenty. No, don't. If you go that way, people may call into their shelves and they may not be able to give you good ideas going forward. Yeah. So that is it about creativity. Then we have what we call mind mapping. It's not in your course outline, but I've decided to keep this empty for you to go and read about it. So go and read about mind mapping. Mind mapping normally has to do with an individual rather than group work. So you as an individual too, you can have a way to generate ideas. So individuals rather than group. Engaging in creativity process. So that is basically about mind mapping, but you can read a little about it. It's a lot, but since it's not really emphasizing your outline, I didn't want to bother you much about it, but it helps. I do a lot of mind mapping. You sit down. You are basically trying to connect ideas in your mind. Okay, if I do this, then this thing will happen. You can even draw a picture. Okay, if I go for this option, this is what will come out. If I go for the other one, what if this thing was like the way coaches plan game plan? Okay, so if we go and if the ball passes here, you have to go this way. So these are all things that happen in creativity, just to come up with new ideas and products. You can mind map. Yeah. Then we talk about things that will enhance creativity, or we call creativity enhancers. So if you are an entrepreneur, to enhance creativity in your organization, you have to ensure that you elevate creativity, importance of creativity throughout the organization. Let people know that you really want them to be creative, and also give rewards when people bring creative ideas and it work. Come on, reward them. They say, okay, yeah. So maybe sometimes you give a paycheck of 5,000 cities for bringing a creative idea that has saved the company several thousands of cedis in electricity bill, because we now know how to cut down on electricity consumption. Certain things that we don't need, now we shut them down. All those things that can save us money. Yeah. Protect people with people who make honest mistakes. Sometimes people are trying to solve problems through a different um, approach, but it may not work out well. You don't need to be angry, shout at them, sack them. No, they did not deliberately want to destroy anything, but they try to do something new. When you protect these people, other people will also be happy at that, and then they will be willing to support the creative process in future. But if there are consequences, negative consequences for failed creativity uh, attempts, no one will not want to be creative. If something happening, people will just be there. So, I don't want to do anything new, so that they will take me on. No. So we need to be very careful with that. Then investing in resources that help employees to sharpen their creative skills. So, like we said, we can have places, spaces, parks, creative parks, areas that people can go and think deep, can go interactive. Places like business incubation system, like UCC, we have the design thinking innovation hub, the D Hub. You can go there and find out how the place can help you. It's at the main administration block where the vice chancellor's office is. So you can go there. There's a D Hub. The last block there in that building is the D Hub. You can go there. Then listen attentively when people are talking to you. Otherwise, creative ideas are not normally not traditional way of thinking. So you have to listen attentively so that people can give you ideas. When people are coming to tell you about something new and you are pressing your phone, you are not listening, they may call back, they will not be able to, or they may not be willing to tell you more about what they wanted you to do. Then there are things that also do not support creativity, what we call creativity distractors. The first one is, if we don't hire creative people, we are just hiring certificates. I want a first-class student, but you're not looking for somebody who can solve a particular problem. Then you're hiring certificates and class instead of creative people. So if you don't attempt to hire creative people, yes, you will not have creative people. If you are being pessimistic and judgmental and critical about people, when we are talking, you keep quiet. You don't belong. You're not part. People can say things about people, and that will not support them. The creative process. Don't punish mistakes. We have talked about that. If you punish mistakes or failed ideas, people will not be creative. Pigeonholing employees. When you pigeonhole people, basically it means that you don't allow people from different departments to interact. ICT department does not interact with the marketing department. How can they have online marketing if ICT department and marketing department don't interact? Accounting and marketing people don't interact. All right. So we need to make sure we don't have a pigeonhole system. Pigeonholes are like post boxes, where they keep, when you go to offices, they have people, maybe officers' name, where they put, okay, that's Dr. Fanuel's whole pigeonhole where they keep my letters when I go, I collect them. So it means that there is no interaction between people. In organizations where there are pigeonholes, they are departmentalized, and there is no clear interaction between people to solve problems. So we have to avoid that. Then we also have to make sure we don't maintain stiff organizational culture with no room for different behavior. This is how we do it in this organization. We say, no, that kind of thing. It's good to have processes and procedures and guidelines, but not anything that will control people and their behavior. Give room for people to do something different within the framework that you have set in the organization. Then, if you are not attentive or you distance yourself when people are talking to you, people will think that you're not interested, so they'll not give you creative ideas again. So, yeah. What management styles will encourage creative behavior? One, you need to encourage risk-taking. Encourage your employees. Okay, let's try something new. If there's a problem, I'm the CEO. I'll take the responsibility. People will go all out for you. Let's try something new. Provide autonomy. Allow people to work with their knowledge and expertise. Don't think that people should be working within what you are telling them. That will be control. Then encourage productivity, what we call sweat equity. Sweat equity is when someone work hard and they sweat, they defend the organization, they support the organization, they had sleepless nights to bring new ideas and it worked for us, you have to give them something in return. So there's equity for their sweat. So try to, if some people are very creative and they are supporting the organization with new ideas and things are getting better, if profits have increased, losses have gone down, yes, share part of the gains with those people. Then the other people will want to also support the organization. Or the same people will go and think about something new again to support the organization and support and offer supportive supervision and a climate and work group. So what we can do when you are supporting people, when you are the CEO, you are the owner of the business, make sure that people that you are working with, you provide them very good support. All right. And that support is very key. That support is very key so that it's not like people are just left to do their own thing, but they are left to work with you and then you continuously check in to say, hey, is everything all right? Is there any way I can help you? Okay. Is there anything you need so that we can buy to support your work? Those things will help employees or workers or team members to become very creative. And then you can also practice participative leadership so that you're not the only person leading every day. One of the things I learned from Dr. Patrick Ewa of Ashesi University fame is that he learns how to delegate. Most of the programs, he comes as participant, not as the head of the institution. So there's a culture where they train people very well to take up their challenge. And I really like that kind of environment. If you build an organization like that, people will be comfortable to provide their input and then the organization will grow. It's not based on only one person, but for many people. So let people contribute to the leadership process. Everybody know that you are the CEO and the owner, but some things you let people lead those aspects, call people for ideas, and then let them make input. Then you can be able to work together for a very good, uh, how do you call it, production process or innovation process.
Sir,
Yes, please.
please, I want to ask this question about the detractors of like that, those factors that reduce creativity.
Yeah.
So one of the points is if you try to people make mistake in the idea they are generate or they and we try to punish them, it also reduce their morale to do those things.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to relate this thing to the house, saving the organization. So let's say you have a child about 3 years, 4 years in the house, and you go out to come. This child, there's a television. This child break the television is there, connecting some wires over there. This child, is it good to punish that child or to overlook and thinking he's trying to explain something?
Okay. So correcting someone is different from punishing the person. So I would just use now I have a hybrid puppy, German Shepherd and Boabu, for example. I've started reading about how to uh, train the dog. The puppy is barely 10 weeks old now, and yeah, it's looking big and it pulls, and we everywhere, So when I was reading about it, I was taught to make sure I train it because from 8 weeks already they are able to understand and listen to training. It may not take one day, but assuming the dog pulls somewhere and I just go and cane the dog and go, what happens? The dog will see me as a bad person. But assuming the dog pulls somewhere and I go and take the dog, maybe he's not speaking my language, but I'm doing signs or I'm talking to it, thinking to that, no, you don't have to pull here. Because if you pull here, it smells or I'll beat you. So you show sign that you could give that dog a negative feedback, and then maybe another time it does it, you go again. It takes time. And then what I've seen now is that the dog it doesn't pull where it sleeps. Uh, So I was told that anytime it's finished eating, yeah, I have to take it around to a place when I want to where I want it to poo. Sometimes I take it, I will stand the 30 minutes. This dog is not pooing. I also have to do something else. So I leave him. Now when I leave immediately, it follows me somewhere and then it's good to poo there again. But what happens is that I see that it now tries to poo outside where it lives. That is the first stage. So it doesn't wee there, it doesn't poo there again. In the past, it poos everything there. Okay, so sweeping the place become difficult. It's now pools elsewhere. It's improving. Then I'm not training that. I'm creating a place that anytime you want to put can go to that particular place. So you see, children are also like that. And also all of us, when we are even old, when we are doing some work, we may not understand the work fully. So we may make mistakes. If someone just punish you because you've made a mistake or you've done something, then you may learn or you may not learn because and my mom is one of the examples I use for punishment and work. My mom, if you do something wrong, my mom is going to cane you anyway, of course, but she will first call you and tell you that because you have done ABCD. First, she will tell you this one don't do, then you go and do. Don't do, you go and do. Fine, no problem. Then when she gets you, she's going to grab you and tell you, put you down and said, well, I'm not happy to beat you. But because you did ABC and I told you don't do it, but you continue to do it, so I'll cane you. But if mommy will just grab me at the slightest provocation and just cane me, I'll never love my mom. I will think she's wicked. So punishment in itself is not a good way to train people or anyone or even animals, but what we call positive controls or positive reinforcement. So you could just instead of punishing the person, like someone's action resulted in a loss to the organization, and you say I'm going to take it from your salary. Salaries that are already very small, the person is going to pay for it. What happens next time when the person sees something about the organization, is not going to help do anything to not support the process in any way. So that's what we are trying to say. There are other ways you can try to correct people, not necessarily by punishing them, but correction is good. It's not about not correcting people, but be careful that it does not become punishment, because when people see that you can punish them, you see that you go to some classes, the classes are very dull. Other classes too, you go and then they are what? They are very active. Because sometimes, I remember when I was in a uh, form, I think form 1 or form 2, right? That's a grade 7 or 8. My religious and moral education teacher asked a question: Who is a girl? Who is a girl? Who is a girl? Nobody was willing to talk. We were there, but if no one answers the question to all of us, will be caned. And if you answer the question wrong, you can be in trouble. We've not been taught who is a girl, but I just decided to use my mind. And I just said, oh, well, I raised my eye, he called me, and said, yes. I said, a girl is a baby woman. That's the answer I gave. You know, imagine what happened to me. My teacher just opened his mouth and said, nonsense, nonsense. I was really, really sad. People laugh at me, you know. I felt bad. So I don't answer questions in his class again just because of that, because I don't know the kind of reaction that will come when I don't get the answers right. But I've been active in all classes. So you see, the kind of feedback you give to people, get them to call into their shelves or to come out clearly to support you. So yeah, we are not saying everything that people do, just praise them, whether they have done right thing or wrong thing. Wrong things, you can give them a feedback, but just help them rather to do it better rather than punishing them. That is the concept. Does it make sense?
Okay, sir. That.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, please. I wanted you to hit more on this point for me.
Mhm.
You said maybe when an employee is doing something bad or an employee makes a loss, and you tell the person that next time I'll deduct it from your salary. So my brother has kept on saying it to our employees at our shop. So I want to know if it is correct or a right statement to give to the employees.
To say that you deduct things from employee salary. Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So if it is a bad statement, I want to know so that I will tell him that stop.
Yeah. It's not good to say that you deduct things from uh, an employee's salary. What that means is that you are likely to run yourself into trouble the employee is completely demoralized. They they know for sure that um they will not get value for what they are doing for you. So they will also put up substandard performance. If I know at the end of the month, instead of 2,000 cedis, I will now be paid 1,500 or 1,000 cedis. Psychologically, I will not put up my best. I will be working like someone who will be paid 1,000 cedis. Right. So in the end, you will lose when you, especially when you tie these things to people's salaries. Right. When something happens, you need to call them, encourage them. If the person, let's say, stole something, that's a different thing. Let's be a way to, that one is not about creativity. It's a criminal offense. Okay. There can be ways, either you, if the person has to be sacked, can be sacked. But if the people make mistake in course of their work, and then it resulted in a loss, let the company bear the loss. That one is not a criminal offense, right? So um, let us be careful the way we use threats to get required action. Most of the time, bosses that even threaten people, if I come and I see you sitting, I'll take something for your salary. What happened? They will make one of their colleagues their spy. That person will be sitting somewhere, and then the moment they say, Charlie, Papa Nebo, giddy, 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 everybody will be at post. When you leave, they will all go back and go and relax. It happens a lot. But when you create that environment where people can trust you and people are happy, they work for you, they work their heart out. They know even if they make mistakes in the course of their work, you will protect them. You will not sack them. You will not take it from their salary. Then they give up their best because it is through those mistakes, inventions and innovations come up. So it's very important to ensure that we don't touch employee salary. It's actually illegal to touch employee salaries for those things, like unless the person has stolen, and even that, if it's a criminal thing, you may have to report to the police or something. But you don't have right to be punishing people on your own.
Okay. Okay, so thank you.
Cool. So let's now look at innovation. When we have looked at creativity, let's look at innovation. So when we talk about innovation, we are looking at doing new things. So while creativity is more of a mental impression or thought or thinking about doing some things, when you now put those creative ideas into useful application, we say that you are innovating. So when you sat down, you say, okay, if I put ginger, cloves, garlic, watermelon, pineapple into blender and I blend them, I can get a smoothie, healthy smoothie. That's the creative idea. When I start doing it, then I say I'm now innovating. I'm doing it and people are taking the smoothie, people are enjoying it. If I think about anything and I not practice it, I'm still at the creative stage. So we say innovation is creativity in action. So let's look at innovation and invention. We have looked at invention earlier and we have looked at innovation, but let's look at them. So you see that invention is when you come up with something that never existed, but innovation is actually when you have improved or you have brought something that has been invented, you have made it better, then you are innovating. So innovation also can be closely related to modification, making things better every now and then. So when you have useful applications on this gramophone or whatever they call it those days, so they see the one on the left appears to the early forms of telephones that were being used. You need to turn that thing. So we see that it is actually the starting point for our modern day computers and phones that we have. Yeah, so it is very important to know the difference between invention, which is completely new, innovations that is building on something that has already existed, or putting your creative ideas into practice. For example, there are some rice planting machines that you see. Yeah, it looks like this picture might be taken from Pakistan or India or something. So you see, instead of planting this rice or grass or whatever seedlings one by one, they are planting them with a machine. So the machine is moving, planter, and then they are being planted. You get a point. Also, we have cassava grater. Those are they used to pound the cassava. Now we have machines. Even now, there are even better and newer machines that can do this, improved versions of this particular one. Then let's look at types of innovation. We have one product innovation, where you have a new product, which is a good or a service that has been substantially improved. So, for example, iPhone 12 is a product innovation over iPhone 11. So it's building on the old one. Okay. Then process innovation. That is about the way we do things. So if in the past we used to pound fufu in a mortar, in a mortar with a pestle, now we may have fufu making machines. This is a process. The way we do things, we can innovate. Marketing innovation, how we sell, how we price things, what we call the marketing piece, the people, the price, the place, and all that. So the product itself. So if we improve on any of those things, if we decide to sell the thing now in Abidjan instead of only in Accra, we have done marketing innovation by moving to another geographical area to sell the product. We have organizational innovation, or even another marketing innovation before we come to organizational. Marketing innovation could be, those days we didn't have phone. Now you can have catalog on your phone, WhatsApp. People can order the product online, and then they can get delivered to them to delivery cars or motorbikes. All those are part of marketing innovation. Good. Then we have organizational innovation that talks about our business practices. If we now have a different way of doing things in our organization, like in the past, we have to come face to face to come and listen at lectures, but now we can even have online lectures. These are all organizational innovation. It's also part of process innovation, the way we do things. But organizational innovation goes beyond the process to our practices. Even the way we assess people can move away from the classroom and quizzes to maybe get entrepreneurship students to go and support enterprise or businesses in Apple's Kamama. Yeah, if I have my own way, that's how I assess you. You go and use the knowledge you get. Go and get I'll attach you to a business, and then you go and help them to do marketing innovation, bring the results based on how you are able to do it. Then I grade you. Those are some of the ways you can also bring innovation to assessments. It happens in some organization. Then finally, you have business model innovation. The business model innovation is about how you make money. That's the business model. We're looking at business model 2 weeks time, or maybe when we return. Yeah, I think 2 weeks time we should be on vacation or so. Yeah, but yeah, we'll look at that later. Business model and the business model canvas and the business plan. So when we talk about the business model, we are basically looking at how you make money. You may have a very good idea about businesses, but it does not end there. If your business is not able to generate money, you're not able to get revenue, your business cannot survive. So business model innovation is when you are doing something, then you think about how can you make more money from your business. Remember, mobile telecommunication companies, initially they were just selling credit for phone calls. Then later it came to what? Data. Now I'm sure they even get more money from data than phone calls. Then from there, we move to what? From phone calls, we move to mobile money. They make a lot of money from mobile money. Now I see they even have savings and investment plans on mobile money. So all this, we call them business model innovation. So when you are doing something and getting money from that, you ask yourself, is there any other way the same business can generate money? For example, the smoothie business I've started, I've been reading about the waste, like the pineapple waste. When you keep them, it can produce gas. So I'm thinking, is there a way I can start producing gas, for example, with my pills, but now I'm using them as manure. So there are so many ways you should be thinking about it, right? How do you innovate so that you can get more money from your business? Then how do you protect your creative ideas when you come up with very good ideas? How do you protect it? One, you have to make sure you keep your ideas to yourself at the initial stage. Don't go and start posting your ideas on social media. Hey, now I found a new way of solving this problem. People will steal the idea and go inside the business. Maybe you don't have the money, but they'll blow it, make it big, right? Then also another way is to investigate people before you give them your ideas. Some people may come and be stealing. I told you they have stolen my business ideas in my pitches in Europe, especially Germany, France, and all. I talk to people about my business ideas. They are like, oh, okay, it's nice, it's nice. Then they all leave. Sometimes I see people implementing my ideas, even in Ghana here, but no one gives me credit, and then they don't give me anything for it. So be careful when you are selling your ideas. There are a lot of this event that they say call it business plan competition, pitches, and all that. Then they will award one or two people after listening to 1,000 people. I think it's really stupid. I don't want to go participate in that, some of those things, because you see, you are going to sell your business model to people. If they didn't give you the money, what happens to your idea? You have exposed it to the whole world. So it's not really a good thing. So be careful when you are going to those areas. Rely on referrals as much as you can. So don't just give your business idea to people. Talk to people you trust. So, oh, this person, if you share your idea, they can help you before you go ahead. And then you can also use non-disclosure agreements. Remember, sometimes you read documents, say no part of this book or work can be reproduced without the express permission from the author. Sometimes you can write it that the ideas are original. So people, when they are using it, they have to get back to you. Otherwise, they infringe on your rights. Then you use analogies to present your idea. Instead of saying that I'm going to do this, I'm going to say, okay, I do something like this. So it's not really the real business you have brought forward, but you are just bringing an analogy, something that looks like it. So people cannot understand the formula, how you get it done. Yeah. Then copyright your ideas. You can go to the register of companies or copyright secretariat or offices, and then you can get your ideas. When you have a copyright, no one can do the same thing. All right. But copyrights really last, or they are good, but sometimes even if you have copyright, you still need to be careful what you put out there, because people can also pick your idea and wash it. And then it may not look like exactly your copyright, but it can be similar. But the copyright cannot protect you 360 and say that no one can do something like this. If copyright like that were to be there, we will not have Pepsi Cola, because Coca-Cola will not allow them. Or we have other Afri Cola and those things. So people can still come with some cola, but maybe not Coca-Cola. So you need to be sure that when you're copywriting, you still don't become negligent because you think you have copyrighted your ideas. Yeah, and then follow your guts. Sometimes you want to share your idea with somebody else, and then, or you want to send somebody, then there's that instinct saying, no, 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 don't do it, don't send it. Or you try to send it, the internet was not working, something happened, it didn't go through. Don't worry, maybe your ideas would have been stolen. So that is about following. Yeah, so that ends our lecture for today. But let's look at this story about Richie Turere before we go. Turere was a young man in Kenya who was a shepherd, right? He grew up in a home near the Nairobi National Park and tried many things to save their livestock from lions. Okay, when we talk of Nairobi National Park, it's a place they keep a lot of animals, right? Okay. So like they call it, we even have animal orphanages where they pick animals, lions, tigers, leopards, giraffes, all those, animals from the bush, and they bring them there and keep them. So but we hear that the lions come to catch their livestock in the night, and they devour them, they kill them, they eat them up. But what happened is that he realized that lions fear light. Okay. So anytime they hear that the lions have entered their livestock yard and they try to go out to the lions will run away. So his mind, he did a mind map, okay, and then he talked to people, and then he realized that I can do something about light so that lions can be scared. So he developed a system where he got a solar lighting system, and he kept the switch by his bed. So anytime he hear that the lions have entered the yard and they want to catch their livestock. Quickly, he will switch the light on, and then when the lights go on, the lions will think that human beings are coming to attack them. Then they run away. So that is how he got there. He became very famous, and Tirere, as we speak now, I think he's a pilot also. As usual, we hardly make use of our talents in this part of the world. So we went to the US, he got very famous. Yeah, for a little, you see this, it looks like a little innovation, but it went really viral because no one has been able to solve this problem over there. But this is a little thing, just like having lights, this is what we call synthesis, right? To transform something great. So that is it. You can also visit this is what I mentioned earlier today, the Design Thinking Innovation Hub. So at the University of Cape Coast here, go to the main administration, ask about the D Hub, and then you can discuss your ideas with them. They will be willing to provide you support. And yeah, we'll have some presentation. Start thinking about new improvement and that we can have. Next week, I will see if we can have a face-to-face. We need one face-to-face before we go down for the Christmas break. But yeah, I wish you the best for the rest of the week. What you need to do is you need to identify something like a good or a service on the market that needs improvement. Okay, that's what I want everybody to do. You can begin to do this already in your groups or as individuals. And then you prepare a one-page report on what can be done to improve upon that product. So I want you to do this first as individuals. Or maybe do you already have groups? Hello, do you already have groups?
No.
You don't have groups, right?
Yes, sir, we already have.
How many people are in a group?
Yeah, 10.
Say we don't have group.
So we don't have group.
Say we don't have group.
Okay,
we don't have.
I would.
Say we don't have.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So
But we have numbers.
Yeah, justice for Bulu.
I'll make a provision for that. But for now, individuals, you can do this with your friends. 2, 3 people. Pick anything. It can be your phone. It can be water supply. Any product. It can be kinky. Just look around, and then look at the product and see, is there something we can improve? Write a report on how the product functions, or a good or a service. It can be a lecture. It can be the way we organize things, anything. And then come out with some good product. Do this maybe in groups of 5. I'll get you formal groupings later, but for now, look for your friends. All of you go and study something, any product, and then we'll see that we'll work on it together later. Then you'll receive a link to submit this assignment online so that when you submit it, I will be able to look at it and then we'll discuss it. On that note, the day and the week has ended for our lectures. I thank you very much. If there are any more questions before we end today's lecture.
Hello, say.
Yeah.
Hello, say.
Yeah.
Yeah, when are we submitting?
You submit it next week, so maybe by Monday or maybe this weekend. It's a short thing, so just try to start the work today.
Okay, sir.
I'll send you the link and then you can submit it.
Okay, sir.
So just form your own groups with your friends. I'll work on that on it later, and then I'll show you how to submit it.
So please, I have a question. Yeah, I wanted to ask whether the product should it be a physical product or even a service? Can you use it?
It can be anything, can be a service, can be a good, it can be a service, anything.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Any more questions?
No, sir.
Okay, hold on. There's something I'm looking for. Okay. So I'm trying to get the attendance now. So hold on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending, and I wish the best of the
Thank
week.
you, sir.